So, there's a little something I forgot to do last time. Which was show you all the Scroll of Guidance. Hi, and welcome back to East 1 and 2. Whoever reads this scroll must possess the bravery and fortitude as described by our Yara priests. Our land's future is in great peril, as usual. Imminent destruction, we need to put a stop to that. Go to Solomon Shrine. Oh, okay. So now we're going to go ahead and go through the Surge of Naltia. By the way, once you clear the rock monsters in front of the Wand of Holy World, when you re-enter this area, they become just regular wandering monsters. Not that they're especially worth fighting. Okay, this is the Surge of Naltia. I am quite overgeared for this area, so enemies aren't going to be able to do much. And I also have the Fireball, which causes problems for enemies. It's still going to be worth blowing up enemies around here because some of them still give decent experience, plus I'm going to want all the gold I can get. Because there's still equipment I can buy, and each piece of that equipment costs 20,000 gold. One of the things I'm most thankful for in the later versions of East 1 and 2 is that they cut down the price of certain weapons and armor. So, those little snowfall ramps, we can't go up those. We just can't. It's not going to happen until we pick up something that'll let us do that. See? Can't do it. The Fireball makes the encounters here quite a bit easier, even if things are a bit cramped. Plus there's the fact that, I bought up the best equipment money can buy in Rance Village. So we picked up the Misty Ice Drops, which are the first progression item we need around here. The thing is, there aren't really any hints that tell you that these are what you need to move forward. Because let's stop and take a look at the description of the Misty Ice Drops. They can help you to freeze the water in the air. That doesn't really help us figure out what we're supposed to do with them. At least in this version, because in later versions, there's some very conspicuous frozen air graphics in there. Now we're going to head into this little secret area. And this is the Cape of Holy Spirit. This allows us to regenerate anywhere like the healing ring did. This is going to be absolutely essential for the rest of the game, so you should stop by and remember that little secret place. thing about the Ice Ridge is that it's pretty much the only sort of dungeon area in East 2 that doesn't have any character interaction aside from that goddess statue up there. It's kind of an unusual thing for these kinds of action RPGs for most of the dungeons in the game to have some extra character interaction or something like that. Because in the Pristini Caverns we have the Sanctuaries of Toll, and in the mode of Burn Bless we have Lava Village, and in the Solomon Shrine we have all sorts of stuff going on. And there's the Hawk Idol, which turns our fireballs into homing projectiles. It's more useful in later versions of the game than it is in this one, because this version has some weird targeting that'll sometimes make it shoot at enemies that are further away from you than home in on enemies that are closer to you. I don't know how that works. I didn't program this game. At least not as far as I'm aware of. I was 8 years old when this version came out. Okay, so the way you get through here is just shooting them with your fireballs. Now, in the PC-88 version, you actually had to be a certain level to melt those ice blocks. Oh, there's the magic transform. This will allow us to transform into a Roo and talk to the monsters. There's a lot less different monster dialogue in this game than there is in later versions, because in this version there's one set of lines for every type of monster, whereas in later versions there's different dialogue for every spawn of a monster. So all of these monster rams would have different lines. Okay, there's the stone shoes, so now we can finally go up those snow ramps. Yeah, the thing about melting those ice blocks being tied to level meant that I actually got stuck on the Ice Ridge in the PC-88 version, because I thought, wait, I have to be missing something, because they can't expect me to grind that much just to progress past this obstacle, and the answer is yes. Yes, they could do that. So we can't get through that door at all. But now that we can explore more, we'll just go back and find the thing we need to do that. Yeah, I've said it before, but this is really as far back as you should go for East 1 and 2. Because East 2 is heinously grindy, and doesn't become reasonable until Solomon Shrine. Okay, so here's the hint on what you need to get through that door. Okay. So we need to get ourselves a mirror, and that's all the way back in the first part of the Ice Ridge. I will say that the PC-88 version of these games still has some pretty wicked music. Because the PC-88 version of these games... Well, the PC-88 had like a Yamaha synth chip. I forget which one it was, one of the YM2600 series. It has really pretty high quality music, almost like Genesis quality music. Like Genesis used by someone who knows what they're doing. And there's our mirror that we'll need to break through that door. It is a very powerful mirror, but it can't break rocks. I might as well kill these guys. I can always heal up whenever I want. Yeah, those guys still give full experience, so it's best to just blow them up whenever. Okay, we're just going to have to fight our way back to the door now. There's not really too much to this area. At least once you know what you're doing. Yeah, the thing about the Genesis hardware is that, I've said this before, but there are very few games for the Genesis that actually used its sound hardware to its biggest potential. Like, Treasure Games did that a lot, and so did Thunder Force 4, and not too many games besides those. Yeah, if you want to hear the Genesis sound hardware used to its utmost, watch a playthrough of Alien Soldier. Which you should do anyway, but... seriously, that's really one of the big games you have to see to just get what could be done with the Genesis sound hardware. Yeah, the older cartridge systems led to all kinds of interesting experimentation. Because when you got late into a cartridge system's lifespan, people were experimenting with all kinds of stuff. Like, imagine if every computer game you bought came with its own specialized video card or sound card or whatever that was used to run the game to its utmost. So we're going to save before this boss, and we're just gonna see what happens. That's not the door. This is a door. And here's Tialamath. Oh dear! He starts real hard, real fast. And while his shots don't block yours like in the later versions, the window to hit him is actually much tighter. Plus his shots can hit you multiple times. And you don't have diagonal movement. Plus in later versions, the Honk Idol allows your shots to home in on the boss. And that is not the case in this game. He only has one trick, which is an 8-way shot, but it's a pretty good trick. Yeah, I don't really have the timing down on this guy. Gotta be extra careful. And got him. So now we can move on to the mode of Burn Bless, called Burnland in this version of the game. Now, the mode of Burn Bless is actually slightly different in this version because later versions of this game add areas that aren't in the earlier versions of this area. Like, Surge of Naltia is 1-to-1 between this version and later versions of the game, and so are the Restini Caverns, but the mode of Burn Bless underwent some changes. Like, the later versions added a goddess statue at the entrance to this area, and they added an entire separate area for the Rue Hideaway. Some parts were made larger. They did quite a bit, even if the basic layout is still somewhat the same. Okay, get past these guys. Monsters here give full experience, which means I may do some off-screen grinding. However, I'm not so far below the expected level here that it's a pain to fight and defeat monsters. We should be coming up on the next town pretty soon. But the Lava Village is also somewhat smaller in this version of the game. And here we are. There's a rodent net in case we need to restore our MP for some reason or another. And we can also heal in here. Though maybe I just have the Cape of Holy Spirit equipped. Okay, so Quays are what this version of the game calls the Ruse for some reason, because they're called Ruse in every other... Well, actually there weren't any localized versions that had them until later. But they were always called the Ruse. Okay. Oh, so he had to talk with, the goons. Yeah, we kinda encountered something weird when we came in from the Ice Ridge ourselves. Well, we do have a bell. I'm not sure that would stop them. Well, what will they say if they think I'm a demon? Hold on. Let's see if, yeah, that's, convincing. You're right, he's not. Yeah, what will you do if I come back? Well, because you were tricking me. He says out loud in public. They kidnapped your son, got it. Hey, I think Adol is more of a paragon. Okay, I'll do it. These are going to be useful for beyond this dungeon. So that's it for this time, and we'll do this area next. See ya!